Hey there guys, Maverick here, and today we are back with another episode of Spy Family. So, last episode we had two little fun excursions, or escapades if you will. One with Anya, with her school life, not really related to anything in particular, I guess you could say, but it was a continuation of the episode previous, right? So that was great. And then we had Yor's little, I guess, showcase of her abilities, if you will, which didn't really go anywhere either. So apparently a lot of you guys are saying it's actually anime original. I don't know how to think about that since I haven't really read the original, manga. But I do find it curious that they need to do anime original stuff, considering we should be nowhere near the latest chapters, right? Question mark. And not to mention, if they do, like, typically filler is done only if the production team is trying to stall or whatnot, or perhaps there are some pacing issues where they cannot fit the actual episode in a convenient or in a logical manner. But beyond that, I mean, I'm glad that we got some other your related stuff, although it is very superficial, right? We haven't, even with these your focused episodes so far, we haven't really learned a lot more about her, which I, of course, am very much wanting. But anyways, that's beyond the point now, so let's just jump right into this next episode. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh dang! Alright, we're not gonna start with the opening here, right? If it, then I probably should have skipped this. Hopefully, we get right into the episode. Okay. Thank you for the recap. Ugh. Okay. Well, even so, like, even though that's a recap, I probably wouldn't have skipped it anyways. I only skip it when it's only right the exact opening because I don't know, like maybe some new information would be revealed in the narration and whatnot. I do wonder, are they going to get a car anytime soon? No. Go on out on a little excursion, family trip, and whatnot. Oh, actually, have they actually driven somewhere before? Now I think of it, I think they have, haven't they? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Mm-hmm. Mission 20, investigate the general hospital. Really? Oh, okay. Oh, because, well, I don't know. Loid is posing as a psychiatrist, right? I was like, they aren't really going to go try and showcase him in his supposed real job, right? Look at Anya's face. She's like, what should I do? Come on, you. I think this is being a little bit too airheaded, right? Right, we don't need to continue with this. Let's go. Like an onion. Okay, it is cute though, not gonna lie. Man, they are continuing on with this. Yaru is so OP. Look at Anya's. Okay, that was quite the long little. Huh? Oh, oh, okay. That was nice. Huh. So he actually, well, that makes sense, right? In order to really work undercover, he needs to have the appropriate credentials, just in case someone investigates. Yeah, of course they went through the entire trouble of actually, having him really practice here. I wonder if Anya is going to write down what Lloyd says or what he thinks. Hmm. I wonder if these are. Hmm. Because I'm just wondering how Lloyd has the time to actually do this for real as well. Huh. Well, would you look at that? So even though this is a cover job, he actually is practicing. I mean, for someone, I guess it does work, considering that Lloyd has shown how, he takes a lot of care to analyze people's responses based on their emotions, you know, based on their personalities and characters and whatnot. Hmm. Because there's been so many times that we've seen him actually just loiter outside Anya's school. I had thought that, even though this was he mostly kept to himself, right? I mean, being a field agent is a little bit different from being an undercover spy, so. Sand? Hmm. She's definitely going for the secret passage, isn't she? Yep. Right. So that's why I was originally thinking like those people that they were talking earlier, maybe they were all actually, plants by Wise. I mean, was it really ever in doubt that this is what she would do? Psychic phenomena. No, they're talking about you, Anya. And then so they all think there's ghosts. Honestly, any logical person would be thinking to take a look, check up there. Thinking that there's maybe like rats or animals that got into the ventilation system. Just proving it. Yep. Really? I feel like most children would probably do something similar. Oh, so he's gonna treat her better? Yep. And so another day passed peacefully. Oh, no, not quite yet, not quite yet. Conclusive? Alright, alright. Now we can say. And another day passed peacefully. Hmm. Piece of cake. Right, Becky has a. Wait, who just aren't you supposed to like check your child's report? Was this the spy cartoon that Anya likes to watch? Yeah. So it's a code in of itself, eh? Like, what are you normally doing right? Like, is it? And he's going to. Oh my god. He's gonna think that it's an actual code from Loid. Hmm? So she's just not gonna talk from now on? Oh, you can't? Oh. It's to. Yeah, Frankie's gonna think. So is Frankie going to be able to show up? Oh, who is the voice of that? Sounds kind of familiar, actually. I mean, at least he didn't think that it was actually a code from Lloyd. Oh, so okay. Well, poor Frankie. Okay, that was there's like absolutely no payoff for that. That was actually let me take a look. I don't actually think there's anything after this either as well. So I guess that is that. I will see you guys after this. All right. So, indeed, there was not anything else from that last little secret code thing that Anya had. I didn't really feel like there was a big payoff for it, but we'll talk about that later. So, another, I guess, kind of a fluffy in betweener kind of episode here. I like, although at this point, I have to think maybe this is going to be the norm going forward. Like this is what the normal routine is for an episode or a chapter within Spy Family, and this is just how the series goes. Maybe I'm not too sure yet, but it does seem very much like this right now. So for the first part with the hospital stuff and my family at work, my dad at work, and stuff like that. Obviously, we have that little gag from Yoru, which went on quite a while to be honest, but I guess it is at the very least, it satisfies a little of the people who want to see some more action from Yoru, right? Like I was certainly pleased that they showed off a little bit more of her moves. We got some pretty cool poses, pretty cool faces, but that was generally about it, right? Obviously, the big thing here is to take a look at Lloyd's daily life, if you will, and his daily job. Now, to be honest, I was actually expecting more. What Loid was saying, in saying that he would have it would have been easier to be a general practitioner. In my my head, I always thought that maybe he opened up some kind of clinic somewhere else, one of those private psychiatry clinics, and all the like the front desk, the nurses and whatnot, they would all be basically agents of Wise, and so they're able to just maintain the entire front like that, and so it would offer Loid the freedom to go off and do his own thing whenever he is needed, right? I have a I'm not because I mean, obviously, a lot of spies do have real jobs, real professions, right? It's their undercover stuff, but typically these also aren't the spies that have to be like on 24/7 active duty, as we see Loid here, because that's kind of it's kind of different, right? Being having an undercover job and being able to use your spare time to do some stuff is quite different from someone like Loid, who needs to be doing field work a lot of the times, which we've been seeing before. Obviously, this is fiction. I'm not gonna harp too much on it, but I do have this sneaking suspicion that in the real life situation, those would be very, very hard to maintain. Like I highly doubt that in such a public environment like this, you would be able to just go off and do your own thing whenever and whatever without somebody getting really, really suspicious, right? So that's why originally I was thinking, okay, so if they were going to do something like this, maybe a lot of his coworkers are actually all agents, right? And they've basically maybe taken over a certain department or whatnot. So that's why I was also having this suspicion that his coworkers, which Anya and Loid were talking to back there, were actually all agents, but apparently not. So it is what it is. The funny thing is, this is probably also the most the best showcase of Loid's his own abilities and whatnot, because clearly this is a guy that has studied psychology, right? We've seen numerous times before that he's someone who likes to analyze people. He likes to analyze their decisions, their decision making, and so on and so forth. So it makes a lot of sense that he would be able to do a decent job of his this even though it's a cover job, but I would presume he would be doing quite good at it as well, and be able to treat real patients. Question mark? Maybe that's a little bit putting it too lightly on the actual work that psychologists have to do, but I don't know. I kind of feel like he could pull it off. Now the funny thing here is that it kind of also reminded me of another, I guess, unspoken rule. If you so, I can't quite remember where I saw this before, but apparently within the intelligence community, so or at least I'm not sure about the East, right, or the Soviets, right, but at least in the West, I've heard that there were three professions that the intelligence community does not, they do not take the rules of, and those being that of a doctor, of reporters, and of religious figures like priests, right? So apparently these three professions are off limits. I don't know like how true that is, or whether or not that is also just some other misinformation, misdirection, and whatnot, but kind of interesting if you think about it, that Loid here is actually breaking one of the rules by posing as a doctor here. But well, like I said, real life is one thing, anime fiction is one thing. I'm not gonna harp too much on it, but I do find that an interesting observation, if you will. As for the rest of the gag, like it is what it is. The ghost stuff and the obviously the report. The report, though, I have to say, like, come on, an actual qualified parent should be, even if you're not going to help her write it, you should still help her proofread it and know what she's actually putting into it, right? If not, if just to correct some facts, like even if it's a normal parent and you have a normal occupation, you would still want to check and make sure that they're not writing anything wrong about your profession, right? So, parenting 101, maybe not not exactly something that Loid was on the top of his ball here, but it is what it is. So, moving on, and to the second little episode here. To be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought that they could have made it a much bigger and turned it into a much bigger gag. I was totally expecting, considering that we are in this situation where Loid is an actual spy, and then, Anya is obsessed with spies and spy shows and whatnot, and anything related to that. I was legitimately thinking that this was going to be a case where Frankie maybe the people at Wise misunderstood this to be something that Loid was utilizing or whatnot. I mean, technically it wouldn't make sense, right? They're obviously much more competent than that, and Loid, I'm sure that they're not going to use a simple some simple sort of codification like this, where it's literally just putting in the 26 characters of the alphabet and 0 through 9 into a 6x6 grid. Like, obviously that's kind of a very, very amateurish, very low level kind of cipher, but still, considering this, I mean, this show certainly has not been shy from doing things in the most outrageous kind of ways, right? So I was totally expecting there to be like a sudden, like, to go all the way, back to Y's headquarters and whatnot, and they're like, whoa, what is this code? What is Loid trying to say? There's a top secret message, and this must be very, very important because he's breaking protocol and whatnot, and everybody making a big deal, a big fuss over it, right? Only for it to turn out to be only Anya trying to do something. And I was fully expecting, like, if we are having the scene at the very end where Frankie cracked it and showed up, I was expecting, like, to be completely surrounded by all the Y's personnel and whatnot. And heck, if they really want to make a huge gag out of it, maybe even let the secret police have their hands on it and be like, oh, is this actually something, for how do I say it, for Yuri to show up, like, and he'd be like, yes, I finally have evidence that Loid is actually a spy and whatnot, and get into that kind of situation. I was totally expecting that, to be honest. And so for this to be ending just like this, where Frankie got stood up by Anya, I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that maybe this is also another one of those anime original things. I don't really know. I'll have to rely on you guys to tell me about that. But anyways, what I'm saying here is that I feel like with this kind of subject matter, they could have made it into a much more epic and much more over-the-top kind of situation. So a little bit bummed out by that. But anyways, that is it, and those are my thoughts for this episode. Thank you guys. I will see you guys next time, and bye-bye.